Thank you, and hello again, everybody. I'm Jerry Park, along with Oklahoma State head football coach Pat Jones, and this, of course, is the Pat Jones Show. Oklahoma State opened against Arizona State in Lewis Field. The home opener for the Cowboys, about 34,000 people on hand. The final, unfortunately, Arizona State 30 and Oklahoma State 3. Pat, your thoughts now about the game that you've had some time to think about it?
Well, Jerry, we had no real feel for Arizona State, and I still am getting a little bit better feel for our football team, although we're still dealing with a lot of unknowns there. At times, I thought we were in some rhythm offensively and defensively. Then a big play would occur, and how we adjust to those swings of momentum is what I really don't have a feel for. Those are just things you've got to grow up and learn and adjust to. We're still in a juggling state with some position-wise stuff. I think we started to find out some real things about some of these guys last night. We'll see, and hopefully we can point out through the replay what we're seeing and what we're dealing with to a degree.
Experience seems to still be the key that you're looking for in this football team.
Yeah, and there's really not anything, Jerry, to do other than that and just let them grow up and let them go play and see how they react.
Well, we'll take a look at the highlights of the Arizona State-Oklahoma State football game, when the Pat Jones Show continues in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody, to the Pat Jones Show. I'm Jerry Park, along with Pat Jones. And Pat, you lost the coin toss, but you decided to receive the football. We'd like to thank our friends from Phoenix for the replay of this football game and the highlights. We don't have the kickoff. Let's pick it up with the first play of the game. First play from scrimmage.
Well,
Brett Scott, your quarterback.
Yeah, we started Scott certainly at quarterback. We were giving him, Jerry, some fairly simple run pass checks here. You can see we opened the ball game with 3 wide receivers and an I formation. Again, I think as long as we can keep people out of this guy's face reasonably consistently, he can do some things throwing the ball. Again, just starting to get a feel for him as far as how he responds to different situations. Again, off the play fake, we can't see the catch. This ball got over one of them's head and into the hands of Robert Kirks. I really thought Robert did a nice job of catching the ball, one of his better games since he's been here as far as his consistency. But Scott has got, again, a knack for doing certain things. We could never spring much in the running game. Raphael had a little bit of an ankle turn in midweek, hurt it a little bit, and then he hurt the other one a little bit. Again, the footing was not ideal, but again, they were playing on the same field we were. Okay, here again is Scott coming back and firing down the middle. Erratic at times. I don't think it's all his fault. I think a key basically is trying to keep people out of his face. I really can't fault him to a large degree on his decision making. We only had 2 penalties in this ball game, which again is miraculous. One of them was there as far as us getting in the 2-yard halo around the catcher. Defensively, I thought, Jerry, that we started Eric Garman over here, 59, at the one end. We used a little bit different type of front. There's some things personnel-wise that go on here during the course of the game that are kind of interesting. We missed a guy right there. That was a play. We gave up just a few big plays. We really didn't give up many big plays, That was one of them right here. I thought we, by and large, got after the ball pretty good from the outset. I thought we were in a fairly good rhythm defensively. Okay, there's Garman's holding his ground up at the top. Good play here by Chris Calhoun. Good job, Andre Thompson. We're getting quite a few people around the football. Again, I think in spots we got a little bit better defensively. They tried to run a quick screen. We had a blitz on, had it played. Now we're coming back out here. They're running a little old sprint pass and trying to throw it back. I never really detected much as far as real cracks here. Now they punt the ball around midfield. It was very much, most of the ball game, in my opinion, pretty much a seesaw battle. I think the score got inflated a little bit late. Neither team really made a lot of dramatic mistakes. Okay, here's Scott making a throw here, and you can see that we had a couple of mismatches, I think, with their defensive ends and our offensive tackles. Again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but we had some pressure there that I think spooked Scott a little bit. Here again, this is his first start. He's keeping his poise pretty good here. Great catch of Robert Kirksey. Nice throw there. Again, I've got to assume, and I'm unsure, but I've got to assume that Scott it will be able to develop once he sees himself against other people. I think it will help him, and we'll talk a little bit later as far as his preparation. Being able, good job, Robert Kirksey, being able to see now what we think that we're going to be faced with alignment-wise in the preparation. Again, we had nothing to watch on Arizona State other than last year's films. Never could really make a lot cook in the running game. Surprised me a little bit over the years, really with any of our clubs. If we cannot run the ball with some form of consistency, we got some problems there. He overthrew a little bit of a simple underneath route to Burt Milner. Here he's going back now and throwing and hitting Mark Cheatwood. Boy, I really like this guy here. Here's a replay coming up. Marcus, he's going to get better as far as making adjustments and reading coverages and that sort of stuff. Again, now Scott does a pretty good job here. Watching him during the course of the ball game, I mean, I thought he was fired up. He was acting like he was into it emotionally. Here's a pretty good cut by Denson.
Field looks a little bit wet.
Well, again, yeah, it was. We had a pretty good shower. Again, here's a good 3-yard run right here. Raphael, again, the ankle, I don't know the extent of it at this point. We're going to actually we went to our power set and put Ford in at quarterback. We 4th and short, and we sneak it and make it in here. But we'll continue to stay with that. We thought we may, but we've moved the ball with some degree of consistency here. We hadn't really sprung a lot in the running game. Now we're going back, setting and throwing over through that.
He seems to be really strong when he throws.
Well, he's got a strong arm. Good job, L.G. Thompson. We're playing him more at tailback. Again, what a guy sees or what he reacts to, we as coaches cannot tell. Again, part of that is instinct. Part of it is again, preparation. A lot of things involved. This was a 3rd down play, and I thought he did an intelligent job of throwing that ball low when he got faced with pressure. We run Ricky Myers in the field goal group out there. This is Myers' first attempt at a field goal this year, and he kicked it through. Now it's Oklahoma State 3 and Arizona State nothing. We're going to come in here now and kick off. I really thought our special teams play.
How about the Gunners?
Well, we didn't use them intact, Jerry. Good. I'm glad you brought that up. But we had worked them intact, and it looked really awful, quite honestly, in practice. We did use a couple of those guys, Brian Fugit and Daryl McGowan there. You can see here they're hitting a few cracks, but we're getting after the ball carrier pretty good. I think we were chasing the ball hard. Here again, not much. When we gave ground fairly grudgingly. Down in here, they run a sweep, making a little bit, but not a great deal. I thought we were in a pretty good tempo and pretty good rhythm defensively. Now they do hit a draw, make something on us, but we've got people around the football. Normally, if there's a gash that occurs, now we had the ideal call on here. We had a corner fired. The corner went running in there and got unblocked and slipped and fell. All right, here they're going to run a little draw here. He bounced outside. Great play, Scotty Harmon. Boy, I'm so proud of this guy.
He played well.
Yeah, he played well in all phases. He's really a good little football player. Okay, see, we've got decent pressure on him here, and we had good coverage, so we've stopped him again. I thought we were in a pretty good sync defensively by and large. See, here's Jason Gilden, Brandon Colbert. We're going to see a replay. We got people fairly close to Powers most of the night. So again, I think we're probably a little bit better at rushing the passer than we have been lately, and that obviously is going to be a factor as this season wears on.
Well, Pat, the first quarter ends with Oklahoma State in a 3-0 lead. We'll be back to take a look at second quarter action when the Pat Jones show continues in just a moment. Welcome back to the Pat Jones Show. We're talking Oklahoma State, Arizona State football. Arizona State won the game 30-3. Pat, let's pick up the action. You're ahead 3-0. You have a 1st and 10 from your own 37.
Well, again, at this point in time, Jerry, I won't say I thought we had control, but I thought we were in a decent sync offensively. Nothing has really happened that has bothered me at this point. Again, this is a nice job of Scott scrambling here. Get that ball tucked. And let's go. He did a decent job of moving the chains. Again, this is something that is just a feel thing. Again, we've got people covered. He sees a running lane open up. Needs to do a better job protecting the ball, which he did when he got in traffic. I think we picked up a first down. This is something that I had never seen the guy do to any large degree. We ran Roger Franks a couple of times. He's a guy that once he can get turned up field is a pretty good runner. He played well. He did a nice job of blocking. There's Denson there. I'm really, really pleased with the continued development of Roger Franks. Okay, so you could see now that was a guy coming from the left side, and he put a spin move on one of our tackles, and again, now we're forced to punt. Yeah, but we have moved the ball across their side of the field. Now again, we punt them back down into a hole. They've got the ball on where the 12 or 13 yard line, and again, we've got good field position.
It's a good defensive series.
Well, again, they didn't really, with a few exceptions, gash us very much. Again, here Jason Gilden, good pressure. He got a guy in his face and makes him pull up and throw the ball high. Gilden again continues to play well. Gilden is a good football player. So you can see he flashes across and he's got in the guy's way. Now the guy comes out. We did play Wendell Gaines. We got a 3-minute. There's Satterwhite. Yeah, Satterwhite, and you can see 99 Wendell Gaines, and I'll talk more about them as it goes on. Unquestionably, helps us to have Satterwhite in the lineup. He's not 100%. I'm telling you, him and that big 99 you're seeing there at the bottom of your screen are really going to be good football players. That opens up some avenues to us with some personnel, Jerry, that quite honestly excites me. Denson, nice punt return here. Again, now we've got the ball on their side of the field. I still think that we've got some momentum. Okay, run Franks up in there. That's a way to spin and fight. Roger, I cannot say how proud I am of the way this guy continues to perform. Okay, now, again, there's LG. Nice job. See, we've made a couple of nice runs. It looks like we're going to establish a little rhythm in the running game. Now, I think if I'm, big play,
down.
right? Okay, no, this is okay. Third down, LG bounces to the outside. Not much, yes, but he picks up the first down. LG Thompson, again, will continue to get better. He's a tough guy. I really like the way the guy handles himself. Okay, now first down, coming out. See, this was an ill-advised throw here. And, we had a guy, they had somebody right in his face. He's got to, again, get a feel for throwing the ball. Big play right here. Let's watch this. There's a headgear that I didn't see this when it happened. Do we have a replay of this coming up, Jerry?
I don't think so, Pat.
Okay, well, with the film I saw earlier on, one of them did put his headgear on the ball, and it came squirting right out. It went right into number 20, the free safety, who's a good player's hands. He's flying off down the sideline. We've moved the ball. This is where I was saying I don't know how we can overcome huge swings of momentum.
Here's Harmon again.
Yeah, and again, Harmon, boy, did a nice job here on kickoff returns. For a guy that does not have blinding speed, he has got a very good knack for things on the return game. I mean, he's not a real big guy. He tends to get beat up a little bit, but he's awfully tough. But yeah,
Let's look at him again.
Yeah, he's got a good feel for things here. Hits a crease. Our kickoff return people did a good job. He's in a hole. You can see he runs through a few. That guy's trying to strip the ball out of his hands. Good job, Scotty, of taking care of the football. And that gave us a little bit of momentum coming back in here. Okay, now we got a little bit of running room, not much. Again, I do not know the status at this point of Denson's ankles. We'll see how that'll progress. Okay, Brent comes back and fires here. And again, timing should get better on this stuff. Reads should get better on this stuff. Okay, good job here. Nice job. Good job, Denson. See a replay of this coming up. Again, good cut. That's a way to see his vision is good. We just got to get him, again, spring him into the open field a little bit.
He picked up 11, but it was a 3rd and 17. That forces you into a punting situation.
Well, again, we didn't want to, Jerry, we have to mix it up. We have to be able to throw the football. We have to trust the quarterback to make good decisions, and that's some of the things that we're learning about. Okay, turn around, pitch it on the sweep. Not much. Good. You can see 52 and 99. Big window gains and big Stacy Satterwhite, and this makes us a better defensive foe. Now, doggone it, somebody put the helmet right on the ball, and it came squirting out and went right into one of their guys' hands. I don't know how to explain those sort of things other than just fate. Got fairly good pressure. They run a little check-through pass. Got to do a better job, man, tackling. We didn't wrap up at times. Their tight end and the big fullback, he's a strong guy. He's not real elusive, but he's pretty powerful. Okay, now they hit us on a screen here a couple times. There's Satterwhite giving that classic great effort. Good job, Clarence Nobles. They did hit us on a screen down in here on a couple of occasions, but some of that you got to live with. Harmon made a very good break, was in very good position. Again, I could not see this from our sideline. Thought he had a chance. Once the ball went in the air right there to intercept it.
Nice play.
Nice play, Scotty Harmon. Again, this guy is a battler and a good football player. All right, here they go. Run a little draw. Good job, Andre Thompson, Tyler Williams, Scott Harmon again. Andre continues to play pretty well. Going back to throw. Oh, mercy, we had a little blitz on and could not get around the corner quick enough, but we do stop them. Force a punt out of them. So, again, the defense is still playing and making a few things happen. I did not think that we had really, exception maybe hitting us on the screen, that we really gave much and meant much in here. Okay, again, sprint draw, not much. Could not establish a consistent running game. Go back and he's setting and throwing. Nice shot. Good job, Mark Cheatwood. Again, this young man here is a classic example of a guy taking his abilities and getting the very best out of him, and he'll continue to get better. Let's watch him right here. Again, very, very heady guy. Good job of rounding off. Good throw, good catch. Got the presence to get your toes down. Nice job here. Nice job, Mark Cheatwood, and good job, Brent Scott. Okay, now here we go. We're handing off to Denson. We couldn't really ever get much movement at the point of attack. I mean, obviously, we have got to get better at that in certain areas. Good shot. Good job by Burt Milner. So we're moving the ball. We didn't really get stymied much in here. Okay, turn around, pitch it to LG. Not much. They whipped us pretty good, again, right at the point of attack, and they had the thing played well. See, running a little bit of motion. Okay, Scott's sitting in there good. All right, that's a way to hang. If we can buy some time with the guy, he'll get better. He'll get more comfortable with his reads. Now, speaking of buying time, we didn't right there. You can see, again, their two ends are good football players. They're lined up basically over our tackles, and there wasn't anything really happening that I hadn't seen before, but their ends were probably better players than we realized. I don't know how that would affect things. We've got fairly good pressure around him there through a crossing route. Again, this guy is a big, strong back. I mean, he's got some good play. Got decent pressure again. Big play. This is late in the first half. I thought this had swung the momentum. Scotty Harmon, you can see how much Harmon continues to show up. Well, good job. I thought this was a play that might have really swung the momentum our way. You know, again, I think there was 1:18 or something like that left. Come on, Eric. We got some pressure by Garmin. Now that guy's panics. Good break by Scott Harmon. Again, he gets, good job, man. He gets in the open field.
Talk about that pressure again. Let's watch it close up.
Just like any other passer, anybody's going to throw the ball. You get somebody in his face and doing this kind of stuff to him, that's Eric Garmin right there, you're going to force some bad plays. Same thing they did to us. Okay, they had it covered. Between the quarterbacks and receivers, not a good read here. Again, now if we couldn't see it, but they had one good play by Roger Franks. I thought the guy was going to go score. So you can see the momentum is swinging rapidly back and forth. Nice call on Arizona State's part. They run a reverse. I was afraid he was going to get something. Okay, we knock him out of bounds. Terry Henley. Defensively, I thought we did a fairly good job of rallying, although they hit a couple of plays here on us. Right there, Clarence Nobles almost had that ball batted down, and it went right by his hand. We're battling pretty hard. Come on, Jason Gilden. Dumped the ball off. We miss a tackle. Come on, but let's get him knocked out of bounds. Okay, that's Montgomery. He's a good-looking young back. All right, play action here. Good pressure. They almost ran a pick situation here. Good job by Mike Clark. Again, I'm not saying it was anything. Well, I thought that they pushed off a little bit here. Some of these youngsters, I was getting on that official pretty good. We had high school kids on that sideline in band day and everything. They got a real good dose of me chewing on that official down there pretty good. We stop them, force the field goal. I mean, again, back and forth with momentum. I thought we had it. I thought we lost it. Then I thought we got to regain the measure of it, stopping them. Now we go in at halftime trailing 10-3.
Well, as Coach said, the momentum shifting back and forth. We'll take a look back at the first half and recap when the Pat Jones Show continues in a minute. Well, it's halftime between Oklahoma State and Arizona State. And Arizona State's leading 10-3. Pat, what are you telling your kids at the half?
Well, again, it was funny, not funny, funny, peculiar. Defensively, we had not given up a touchdown. The only touchdown they got is on the fumble that jumps out there, and their youngster runs it all the way back. We made a pretty good stand there late. Again, until we got in there at halftime, I had no idea how we were going to react because there were so many big momentum swings, particularly late. I think defensively we realized we had played well. Offensively we realized that we had moved the ball on them. Felt like that, this is a ball game that we got a real good chance to win. We're going to have to play well. Statistically, we can see.
Let's take a look.
It's we're ahead in basically passing is dead even. We're ahead in time of possession. We had only had one penalty. Everything is pretty even, including the score. Defensively, we were not responsible for the touchdown. Again, but I thought our guys defensively at halftime were pretty fired up. Offensively, trying to work on a few corrections because, again, we had not run the ball real well.
Your defense had not given up a touchdown in 5 quarters at that point.
Well, I didn't realize that, but I thought we were playing, by and large, pretty good defensively, and I think we made a pretty good stand down there late as time was running out in the first half.
Well, the first half is history. We'll go on to the second half when the Pat Jones Show continues in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Pat Jones Oklahoma State Football Show. I'm Jerry Park along with head football coach at Oklahoma State, Pat Jones. We talked, Pat, about the fact that the momentum was swinging back and forth right at the end of the first half. Unfortunately, the first drive for Arizona State in the second half kind of put the momentum on their side.
Well, it really did. Here again, we kick off. I thought, as usual, as like most ball games, the first 5 minutes of the second half are going to be crucial. Our kick coverage unit did a pretty good job. He bounced out of a piling and got a little bit, but we had some guys. That's Sparks, their good kick returner. Not much, a little bit here. I made 5 yards, but again, they're fixing to come up with a fairly substantial play here. Again, big and strong more than they are elusive. Again, their backs are not big make you miss guys necessarily, but they are pretty strong people. Here again, they run him here, and again, we've got quite a few folks around there and not much happening.
Here's the big play.
Okay, yeah. You see, we run a blitz here. Corner at the top did not catch the call, turned the guy loose. Big play, right? Big play. We thought we had a little bit of success with some blitzes there. That was a huge play. Again, they go down there, and they did hit a crack here with Montgomery. We're still taking pretty good shots at him. From that standpoint, I was pleased. Again, they run him up inside, and again, they're dragging him. They're running through a couple of arm tackles here. They start trapping us a little bit. Michael Woolridge had a chance to make the play and missed him. Now they're getting down in there. Okay, run the fullback, boom, bang, right down close to goal. Actually, I wasn't sure. I thought we might have a chance after this play here to stop them. They say we're getting after them. There's Satterwhite again. Repeat coming up. Here comes the corner from the bottom. Henley, good job of throwing your body at him. Okay, their Fleshman right there missed him. Good job, Colbert, Satterwhite. Good job, Gilden. Now they're going to come out and I think I thought we were going to stop them right here. They run a trap. And you can see just weasel up in there and score.
Barely.
Yeah, they did trap us a little bit more in the second half. 16-3, this is important right here. Satterwhite comes through and blocks this extra point. This kind of stuff you get out of Satterwhite because he literally has no surrender in him whatsoever. We can see this, and this will help our football team. 52 with coming off of elbow surgery, and he's giving himself up and blocking this. You know, Woolridge has a chance. You can run this back for 2. Don't know if Wool's got the speed to do that. But, again, they score, and then I thought we swung the momentum back to a degree. Okay, here's Mike Clark here on the return. Mike hits a little bit of a crease. Good job, Mike Clark, back to the 30-yard line. So again, if things are rocking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, nothing much cooking again with the inside running game. Scott goes back to throw, step up. See, there you go. Now he did turn loose of that, I think. But one of their ends is just, I know I've said that repeatedly, but it's true that 98 there at the bottom, you can see him right bang. He's all over Scott. He plagued. I don't know what was happening here. Again, I hate to try to avoid officiating on this stuff, but okay, here he is. What the youngsters say, we're getting stuffed back in there pretty good. Brent's throwing in the follow through there. Thought there was a little bit pushing, shoving going on. Their two corners and their two ends, I think, are really good players. I think it's the strongest part of their defensive football team. Okay, here they run up inside, and he's kind of falling forward for some, but there's not a whole lot of creasing. We had a bust at the corner. A corner busted right here and turned a guy loose. There's some things that happened here. Again, we got to get a little bit better at. You see, Colbert, they trapped Colbert, and Colbert did a pretty good job. He's had a sore shoulder. It bothered him throughout the night. Threw himself back into the play pretty good. Okay, they did hit a couple of cutback creases on us. I was afraid. There's Bates, pretty good-looking young tailback, coming back in. Okay, draw. Good job, Nobles. Okay, good job, Chaucer Funches. Again, Nobles at times really made some good-looking plays. He did that late in the half. Good play, Funches. We're playing him a little bit more. He's becoming a little bit more comfortable. Good pressure by Gilden. Again, watch this replay of this stuff with Satterwhite. Again, watch 52 down at the bottom. He's going to get knocked down. He's keeping it churning, gets his feet up, bats that ball down. This stuff that Satterwhite does is obviously very infectious to our football team as far as just that kind of effort, which will help us. I'm certainly glad to have him back. Watch him push and shove, and again, he is not a great speed pass rusher, but you never fault him effort-wise. Good job. We had him covered right there. Okay, Carlos Irving, we're playing at corner a little bit more. I mean, he needs to be a factor there. We come back in. We've got the ball out. He's got to step up, and boom, they get it batted back in his face. Again, there's certain things. Some of this is going to happen basically with anybody. Okay, not any room to speak of to run there at all. Some of it Scott's got to live with. You see that guy making that spin move down at the bottom. Okay, he comes back, fires the ball in now to Robert Kirksey. Good job, Robert. Good job, Brent. We're back up at midfield. This is why I'm saying that see, we got receivers slipping out here pretty good, but good job of Robert setting down in a soft spot. Good job of greasing the ball in. Good job here. Okay, he had found a little crack, a little bitty crack, not much. Again, with Denson, you can see Denson getting up there and hobbling. Okay, here's LG. It's a way to throw your body at him, LG. Not quite as nifty or as elusive, but a good north-south runner. You can see this here. Good job here. Nice job of running, LG. So I thought at this point, again, naive me stand over there, I'm thinking, hey, we're going to win this ball game 17-16. Good job, Burt Milner. Good job of Scott.
Played well again this week.
Yeah, again, I think Milner, there's some things here that we got to get him a little bit tougher at doing. He is a little guy. He's not very big. He does have very good hands. I thought he dropped one there in the second, somewhere in the second half. Should have caught. Okay, power formation going forward here. Denson's playing when he's a little bit hurt, which does not surprise me about he or LG, either one. Okay, big play here. Off of boot action, I thought this was an ill-advised, I won't say throw. We had a guy open in. Look at here. Now, here's 99 win against back to Scott. Should have just lost a touch throw, and he'll get better at that. This guy, watch big gains here all the way across the field. This is very, very, very encouraging to me. A guy like this with this kind of ability.
How big is he?
You know, he's probably 6'5" and roughly 280 and can run. This excites me about him and our defensive unit. Again, we did play more by design, and the guy played really well. This is his second most extensive playing time since 2 years ago at Frederick High School. Okay, good job, Chaucer Funches. Again, I still think that we're getting after him defensively. Replay, quick screen, which they ran last year, and we were well prepared for it. Good job, Funches. Good job, Eric Garman, of getting around the football. Good job, Jason Gilden. You can see we got bodies flying around pretty good. So I mean, I can't fault us in that regard much. Force them to punt, and we're going to have good field position again. So again, the Brent should have done it, and they bounce that. Brent should have done a little bit better job on the interception, big play, but we still got it back at midfield. 16-3, still very, very much a ball game.
And within 13 points, it's 16-3, Arizona State over Oklahoma State. The Pat Jones Show will continue with fourth quarter action after we take this timeout. Welcome back to the Pat Jones Show. Pat Jones, the eternal optimist. As you go into the fourth quarter now, Pat, you know that kick has been blocked and you're down only 13. 2 touchdowns, you win the ball game,
Well,
right?
yeah, we win and knew as we got the ball, we've got good field position. Okay, Brent has been streps up here. Again, what he's seeing, what he's reacting to, you don't know. Okay, big pressure from the backside again. Big pressure. Forces a punt. Barry Vincent probably didn't do as good a job as punting as we would have liked, but we still, I can't fault him much on that. We've got good field position. There's our man. There's Satterwhite.
Stacy is strong.
You bet. And here, this is small stuff, but watch 99 Wendell Gaines' reaction to this. Watch him to Satterwhite if we can tell. He can't wait to get to Satterwhite to congratulate him, which is, those things are what football teams are all about. Good job, Chaucer Funches. You can see Wendell getting excited. There's defensively, I am pleased with the way things are going at this point. Okay, big play right here, quick kick, smart call on their part. You don't see it much on football. Oh me, boy, I hate to. Number one, I hate for anybody to get hurt. We're going to see a replay here. That's Jay Fleshman. He blew his knee. He's gone. Okay, short motion, quick kick. I don't know. They told me, after the officials thought that he was bobbling the ball when he went down. I'd rather not, get into that. The guy blows his knee. I don't, obviously, I've coached now almost 25 years, and I'm sick of going to hospitals to see youngsters recover from knee surgery, and I know that's part of my job, but it looked like the knee buckled. It looks like he's going to have the big one, and hopefully we can get a hardship ruling out of it. And
Arizona State, however, recovers.
Yeah,
the
again,
fumble.
We got a chance. I mean, up until that point right there, we got a real chance. Now they go back. We've had to move Terry Henley to free. Carlos Irving back at the corner. They do a nice job. Sure, Cardinal rule, when there's a big momentum swing, rock and fire, they're on our end of the field. They hit it, get down in here and do something. That was, I think, a huge turning point. Again, I have never tried to get into officiating, and I hate that. The thing I hate really, obviously, is any youngster having a bad injury. And again, Jay Fleshman's a guy that has meant a lot to us over the years and is a good football player. Now we just got to deal with it. Okay, come back off play action and sit and throw. Come on, Burt Milner, catch that football. Catch it. And take a shot. He's done a pretty good job. A good job of Scott. You can see he's having to scramble around, threw back in behind LG.
That's just inexperience.
Well, yeah, again, these things will get better. That's a way to cut them, Roger Franks. Again, I am so pleased we threw a vertical down there. And, again, tough throw, tough catch. LG bounced right back up, which I would expect. We were lucky here. They got a little bit closer to our punter than we would have liked. Now they've got the ball in excellent field position. Turn around and toss it on a sweep. Nothing there. That's a way to get after him, man. Andre Thompson. You can see we still got, and we're playing some other guys in here a little bit more now. Good pressure, Jason Gilden. This guy, come on, men. Right.
Almost.
Yeah, and I thought that happened over there in front of me. It could have gone either way. I thought the guy made a good call here. It did. We were trying to get the call out of it, but they saw it, and I think he did trap the ball, and that's life. But okay, here we go right there. Good job, Clarence Nobles. Good job, fellas, again, of coming in there and people taking shots. We get the ball back. Okay, come on here, Brent. Okay, good job. Dimitri Markham, that's one of his early catches. That's a good job. He's a young guy that gets better. Around in here, Jerry, oh, mercy goodness, all kind of pressure there. I wanted just to go ahead and let Scott play. Okay. Again, we try to run to Roger Franks. It's probably too much to ask to try to get into a no-huddle hurry up. We got a little bit too much penetration there. Good job, Barry Vincent, of punting the ball here. As far as trying to do a lot of hurry-up stuff, important to find out, again, what he's all about. All right, okay, here's the big guy. Go ahead, Jerry.
On this final drive, they had the ball almost 7 minutes,
yeah.
Pat. We pick it up right now. It's about 1st and 10 from the 23.
Well, again, we're playing some other people in the ball game. I know we put true freshman Lorenzo Green in here. I can't remember, at 98. I don't know. There he is right there. His first action. We did not play in the first game. Theron Turquoise, we put here in the ball game at some point. There's a missed tackle here. We put Arthur Davis in at linebacker here at some point, number 50. But we had to do this. Again, we had to put some of these other guys in the ball game. They drove down and scored. Their guys are still all hopped up. We had to do this, in my opinion. Play some of these youngsters. Again, at 30-3, essentially we're beat for all practical purposes. But again, as I'm standing over there, and what I'm observing is how some of these young guys are going to respond. Not the easiest thing to do. Here's a freshman, true freshman right here, Theron Turquoise, and we had played him some in that last series. The guy's a good football player. He's going to be a good football player. I had told the coach, just let us play. Let us play. Don't try to do anything exotic. Let's just see what we're all about. Arizona State 30, Oklahoma State 3, and I think the final score is a little inflated.
In what regard?
Well, again, I think we deserved a little bit better fate than that, Jerry. Again, the run and the fumble in. We saw what happened on the quick kick. I'll leave it at that. Big, huge swing right there. I think our football team, again, in all fairness, deserved a better fate, but things happen.
We'll be back to wrap up this game and take a look at a few other things when the Pat Jones Show continues in just a couple of minutes. Well, the final score was Oklahoma State 3, Arizona State 30, a 27-point spread. But unfortunately, Pat, it was a little bit more expensive than that for your football team. We've already discussed the season-ending injury to Jay Fleshman, but there were some others that were equally important.
Well, Roderick Arthur, one of our offensive linemen, had a knee that buckled on him. What I've heard at this point, he's probably going to surgery also. I think, obviously, injuries are things that any squad has got to deal with, both emotionally. They see their friends now go into the hospital and that sort of thing. That's things you just got to deal with and handle. You don't like it, but it's always there. Interestingly enough, I had talked to the squad in my last chat with them prior to us leaving our pregame meal to come in there about how some of the people we've had over the years have dealt with this kind of stuff. But well before we had a Sanders or a Thomas. I can remember Mo Heinzler, one of our nose guards, playing with 2 broken wrists. I can remember we had a deep snapper that played basically with no knee to speak of, and we couldn't get him out of the ball game. But I'm talking about dealing with these sort of things, handling with them. Mark Cromer beat Missouri one year with 2 broken ribs. Now you got to call upon yourself to do it. I think that's a little bit of what we saw out of Satterwhite. Harmon had a banged up hand, and he's still running back kicks. The score eventually will take care of itself at some point. If we got enough guys showing courage and we can overcome this stuff, we'll be all right.
You got a lot of guys playing with a lot of courage and a lot of heart out there. That was obvious on Saturday. Well, as I said, the final score was 30-3. We'll be back with Pat Jones and the Coach's Corner when the Pat Jones Show continues in a minute. Welcome to Coach's Corner on the Pat Jones Show. It is each week at this time that we ask the coach a question and he gives us his opinion on it. Pat, I noticed after the Arizona State game that in your post-game comments with the media that you said, gee, I wish there was some way that I could just open them up and pour in about 2 or 3 years of experience with this young football team?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was basically alluding to the way the question was worded to me. I thought was fairly ignorant, and I think I gave a fairly ignorant answer to it, quite honestly. But I think I said, well, you can't just take a needle and inject years of experience into it. What I was alluding to is, as far as learning about this, I mean, I don't have a grasp as a coach yet on the ins and outs of, I do in some areas of this football team. Again, I was basically just watching last night, even when the ball game realistically had been decided, how some of our guys are going to react. How does a Brent Scott react with a ball guy in his face? How do we react to adversity? You know, I told him I can live with a lot of things. I cannot live with somebody walking off the field with their head hung. These type of things. I watch that stuff extremely, extremely closely, much more than I do what play we're calling, quite honestly. And so to get a feel. Now, how do we react to injuries, like what we were talking about before? How do we react to momentum swings? How is our bench area? All the things that are wrapped up. Some of the things, yes, I'm learning about. I am intrigued with the response of a Wendell Gaines to a gutsy play by a Stacey Satterwhite. I think, again, these are the things that form teams, not as much individuals, but teams. Again, how do we react to all those situations? How does one of our linemen react to getting whipped? Now, how's he going to fight back? I'm still learning very much, found out a few things. Well, that learning process will go on for a long time.
Well, that's why he is a head coach, Pat Jones. We'll be back to wrap up this show and look ahead to next week when the Pat Jones Show continues in a minute. Welcome back to the Pat Jones Show. Pat, you've been around the business for a number of years. Which way do you see your team going at this point?
Well, again, it's still very, very early in the season for everybody involved. Any team, as far as how they can improve, is going to make the difference in what ultimately happens. Yeah, I've experienced most everything. Again, I want to get a little bit better handle on how our guys react. Nothing indicates to me that we won't go out and practice and play hard. With TCU coming in here, they had as best I know, I think they had a very crucial injury to deal with themselves. Leon Clay, their quarterback, I think broke his leg last night late in a close win over Ball State. Matt Vogler, a youngster who is their backup, who's an Auburn grad, had gone crazy throwing the ball last year after Clay came back. We lost a close one to them down there in Fort Worth. As long as our guys, which they will do, and again, I'm really excited now about the return of Satterwhite and the addition of Wendell Gaines and a few things. As long as we hammer it out, yeah, this can still be a good football team, and I think it will.
Well, we wish you well next week against the Horned Frogs of TCU. Join us again next week when Pat Jones and I will talk Oklahoma State football against TCU. Have a good week, everybody.
The Pat Jones